Well, welcome everyone. So today's Omid is Daf Chof Omid Aleph. So we're 2 lines from the bottom of Test Omid base, Maklit. So the Gemara says, Reisha Imakain shall also be Yadeh Te'ena. Kain sheish b'Yadeh Te'ena. Shall Tevel. Dahainu, we're talking about he has a fig of Tevel. He didn't take Shumas or Maisers. Omar, he says, Te'ena zush Shumas b'Uktzad. The truma should be in ukatz. The ukatz is a part that touches the tree. Ma'aser Rishon b'tzvayna. And then the top of the fig is Ma'aser Rishon. Ma'aser Sheni l'droima. And it's a shnas ma'aser v'shnas Ma'aser Sheni v'hu b'Yerushalayim. So he can eat the Ma'aser Sheni himself. Or Ma'aser Oni v'hu b'gvulin. Or even if he lives outside Yerushalayim and it's a year of Ma'aser Oni, and he's an Oni, he can eat the Ma'aser Oni. So Achel if he eats a loika achas, this kohen who eats his fig, he gets malchus. Rashi says, why does he get malchus? Take a look in Rashi. Actually, this is the Rivon from now on. Loik achas. The loy aitzia midei tevel b'kriyashem zeh. It's still called tevel. Why? V'kocha ma'aser rishon. He ate the ma'aser rishon tevel shumas ma'aser. V'kocha alav the tevel. He didn't take trumas ma'aser. Ma'aser rishon fine. But he didn't take trumas ma'aser. Is a truma d'ka'achel leikad ha'kainu. He's allowed to eat the truma because he's a kain. V'nhi yava omar trumas ma'aser b'mtzisa. If he would have pronounced it trumas ma'aser, if he would have said the middle is trumas ma'aser, he could have eaten the whole thing. V'loi laki midi. He wouldn't get malchus. He forgot to take trumas ma'aser. That's why he gets malchus. To have a trumas ma'aser, the kain v'kain. Who gets the trumas ma'aser? The kain, and he's a kain. He could eat it. Ma'aser Rishon, Ma'aser Sheni loy loki. He doesn't get malchus for Ma'aser Rishon, Ma'aser Sheni, says Rashi, Rivon. The ha'af lezarim shari. Even a zar can eat Ma'aser Rishon, Ma'aser Sheni. He is not loika. So interesting. The Rashi says, what's he loika here for? For the love of tevel. Yeah. So the Achronim, one of the questions the Achronim bring is why is he loika? It must be the Rabbanim because he didn't eat any kazayis of truma. But Rashi answers, he's not like if eating kazayis a truma. If they take a fig and a tenth of it is a truma, or only 1% of the fig is trumas ma'aser. That's a tiny bit. So why does he get malchus for that? No, he's not getting malchus for that. Rashi says he's getting malchus because he ate tevel, and the whole fig is tevel. The whole fig is a kazayis. Others want to say b'chlal.
Why is tevel? He said it's a truma.
He took truma.
So why is it?
He took a ma'aser, but he didn't take truma's ma'aser. You have to take, so truma's 2%, ma'aser's 10%, but then on the 10% that the Levi gets, he has to give 10% to the Kain.
So
the Hainu 1%.
Didn't give to the Levi?
He's a Levi. He's a Kain. He's allowed to eat it.
What the problem?
He wasn't Kair Shem. He didn't call it truma's ma'aser, so it's still called tevel. Until you take truma's ma'aser on this crop, it's still called truma's ma'aser. So if he's a zar, though, that's if he's a kain. If he's a zar, he eats it like a shtaib. He gets 2 malchus. Also because of truma, the zar, a non-kain, can't eat truma. Now says the Gemara, she'ilu b'tchila achla. If he would have eaten it before he was mafresh, ain't like ala achas. If he ate it before he was mafresh, he gets one malchus. But now that he was mafresh, the zar gets 2.
Yeah. Because it's taken from the coin.
Exactly. That says the Gemara brings a right from here. Time, why he only gets 1 malchus? The Isib Yerushalayim, because it's in Yerushalayim. Or begvulin, if you be in outside Yerushalayim, like a shalish. And we see from here that Dafagav. Let's read the Gemara is going to say Dafagav the lav roya pnei chayma. Even though this fig didn't yet come into Yerushalayim, he's still like her. So how could he say beforehand, Rabbi Yechanan, the only chai of a Ma'aser Sheni is a third wide line in Gemara once it comes into the walls of Yerushalayim? This fig never saw the walls of Yerushalayim. Why should he get malchus? Kasha. So Gemara answers Da'ili Vapki. It's talking about a case where he brought it into Yerushalayim and then he took it out of Yerushalayim. So Gemara asks, Yehochi, if that's the case, Ma'ile Memra, what's the whole chiddush? What's this whole Memra of who said this? Rav Yaisi. What's the chiddush? Of course he gets malchus. Yeah. Everyone knows that once you bring the Ma'aser Sheni into Yerushalayim, you're chayav. Exactly. So Mike, my lemema, what's the chiddush? Hacha, but my skin, and what's the chiddush? What are we talking about here? Kagoin dailinu betivlaihu. He brought it into Yerushalayim before he took the Trumas Mais, before he took the Mais Sheni. He brought it in his tevel. He hasn't taken any of the Trumas Maisus yet. And the chiddush is that it's, even though he hasn't taken Mais Sheni yet, the walls of Yerushalayim still have the effect on it that now it becomes also to eat, even when you brought it in his tevel. Not just if you bring it in as Mais Sheni. V'kasovar, and he holds, Rabbi Yossi holds, matana shalihumu kamishahumu damian. Even if you didn't take the Maisa yet, it's as if you took the Maisa. So even if you take it in his tevel, the chayma still has the effect on the fruit. The Sover Rabbi Yossi, and Rabbi Yossi holds, matana shalihumu. Does Rabbi Yossi really hold, the Sover Rabbi Yossi, matana shalihumu kamishahumu dami? Does Rabbi Yossi really hold that even if you didn't take even if you didn't take Maisa and Truma, it's as if you already took? Vatanya, you have a brisa. Rabbi Shimon ben Yehuda, Omer, Mishnah Rabbi Yossi. Rabbi Yossi himself says, "La inechel gu b'sham Beis Hillel al perish shalei nigru malachton." Beis Hillel Beis don't argue about fruit. Shalei nigru malachton means that you have to always do a malacha before you chayiv trumas u'maisa. So with wheat, for example, you have to make it into kri. You've got to put all the wheat together. That's called nigru malachton. You finish the malacha that you have to do. You cut it down, you put it together, then you chayiv. So perish lo nigru malachton. If you didn't finish the malacha va'over Yerushalayim and it came outside Yerushalayim, you brought it in, you took it out. Sheyifte ma'aser sheni. She put the ma'aser sheni. You could be paid the ma'aser sheni. V'yachal b'chol makam, and you can eat it. So of course you could be paida if there was no Gema Malacha. Where is the machlekes Beisham Beis Hillel? Al perish nigmu malachton. You put it in a kri, now it's chayv in Shumas HaMaisos. V'avri Yerushalayim, you brought it into Yerushalayim, you took it out of Yerushalayim. So Beisham Aimim Yachzor Mais Sheni Shalehem V'yocham Yerushalayim. What should you do? You have to take it back to Yerushalayim and eat the Mais Sheni in Yerushalayim. You can't be paida. Once it came into Yerushalayim, you can no longer be paida. Beis Hillel says you can still be paida. So, says the Gemara, if Rabbi Yossi thinks that matana shleihumu kamishahumu, even though you didn't take truma yet, it's as if you took truma and the walls are mechayev. Hakoltu mechitzas. This fruit, in this case of Beis Hillel, he brought it into Yerushalayim. So how can he be paida? Beis Hillel says you can be paida. Akoltu mechitzas. He already brought it into Yerushalayim. That's the case. Talking about he brought it into Yerushalayim. There's Gema Malachton. You brought it into Yerushalayim. Says Beis Hillel, no problem. Be paida. How can you be paida? So you see, Rabbi Yossi himself says, "Elama matana shleihumu like mishahumu dami." You can't say this in Rabbi Yossi. The Rabbi Yossi says matana shleihumu mishahumu dami. So what does the Gemara answer? Amar Rabba. Rabba says, mechitzas are ilechol doraisa. Mechitza likloi derabonon. Legabe the din doraisa, the mechitzas kailet. We're talking about fruit that you didn't take yet trumas and you didn't take yet trumas and maisus. It's still tevel. So legabe the chili you can't eat. It's also to eat it. Once you bring it to slime, you can no longer eat it. Likloi derabonon. As far as being paida it, right? You can't be paida as darabon. Once you brought it into Yerushalayim, you can no longer be paida. Yeah. So that you can only no longer be paida if you brought it in as ma'aser sheni. If you bring it in as tevel, you can still be paida. And the Ritva explains that the whole reason why the Chazal were geyser, you can't be paida. Why you can't be paida? Is because they were chayshish that you're going to eat it without being paida. Really, there's no problem being paida. So they're chayshish that you're going to start eating it, you're going to forget the paida and eat it. So they said, once it came to Shleim, don't be paida. But that's only if it was tevel. That's only if it came in as ma'aser sheni. If it came in as tevel, it's not chal.
So they're not going to eat it. You're afraid. No one eating tevel.
I hear.
So
Ravina has a whole different pshat over here. Kagain, what's the chiddush of this din of Rabbi Yossi? Kagain the naket le bekanya. He's holding this, the fruit with a long stick. The tifshe by the Rav Papa, and this will answer the Shaila of Papa, remember on the previous Amr of Papa said, what's the din if he's holding with a long stick? And he's going to say, Teiku, Mashiach comes, we'll know the answer. So he wants to say, or if you don't want to say, that we can be Medaik from basically the to this kasha. Okay, now we're going to be discussing famous sugya of shaving, beard trimming. So, says the Mishnah, someone that pulls out a hair from his head. Someone that makif, which means to make a circle. He cuts around his head. He cuts around the entire, all the hairs around the bottom of his head. And the Rambam says it's because that's what the Avodah Avodah Zarah used to do. It's a big shaila. Why does the Rambam in Halacha say this is what the Avodah Zarah did? Who cares what this Tama Mitzvah says? He brings it in like in the Yad Chazaka. This is Halacha. You can't shave around your head because this is what the Avodah Zarah did. The Torah says, why is he bringing this? Kilu, if there would be no reason, it's not chal. What's going on over here? The Rambam never brings the Tama Mitzvahs. The Taz says because there's a big kula if it's because of which is that you're allowed to do it in certain situations. If you're Karav Lamelech, you're allowed to get dressed like a goy. It's not a problem. So he's saying it. He says it's a kula.
And that's what I think that if a lot of people doing it is like we say, why are we allowed to go with the trousers?
So it's already mutter. It's already mutter. Interesting. V'mashchis pas kana. He uses lots of mashchis. You destroy your beard. Meaning it's got to be, you've got to use a razor and get under the skin. Like you've got to destroy the shirish with a razor. Using scissors is fine. V'sayvet srita achas ala mace, and someone who cuts himself with a nail or with a kli on someone that dies, is chayv malchus. Sort srita achas achomish mesim. Someone, 5 people die and he tears himself. Or he tears 5 tears on one dead guy. Either way, you chayv 5 malchus. So says the Mishnah, ala roish shtaim. When you cut the hair on the side, this area here, you chayv 2. Achas mekan, one from this side, one from that side. It's not called one, it's ala zok, and you shave the beard with a razor, shtaim mekan, 2 on this side, shtaim mekan, v'achas v'lemata, 1 in the middle. It's a massive machlekes. What are the 5 places? Everyone agrees the center, this is one, that's for sure. The Rivon here says the 2 on the side is the bottom of the jaw and the front of the jaw. Other sheeters hold it's the 2 places where the jaw joins the head, and right underneath it the jawbone, and the same on the other side plus here. The third sheet is that it's right outside where your lips are. Right on the side of your lips. I don't know. There's no jaw there. I guess maybe it means further back. The middle, and that goes together with the sheet of that.
Ear.
Huh?
In ear.
These 2 and
not up.
Not the top.
No, these 2.
Right. The top of the bone here and here. 5. So the Torah says we don't know where it is. There's a big machlekes. Don't touch your face and don't shave anywhere with a razor. Just in case, we don't know. We're not sure. I guess l'cher l'kol is mikra, then you can shave under here, although people don't do it.
Yeah, but you're going to be ugly.
The question also is where it says your center. How big is it? It's one tiny nukuda. It's a millimeter. Or it's a big.
Everything.
It's the whole thing.
It's all the thing.
Here you can't shave. How much? I didn't see anyone that says clearly how much of an area in where the bone meets you can't shave.
Yeah, it's a machloket. Some doing here, some like some more machmirim, some
right. So Rebbe Lezer says, "Im nitloi kulun ka'achas, ein chayv vela achas." If you shaved everything in one go, you only chayv once. Ve'ein chayv al shitlena betar. You only chayv shaving your beard if you use a razor.
Yeah, he's going inside.
Rebbe Lezer Oimer afilu loktoi b'melaket, even if you use, I think it's some type of tweezers or ibarihitani chayv, some type of tool they used to shave down wood with. It doesn't have to be a kli miyuchad for shaving. The question is, does it have to be a kli miyuchad for shaving? There's a big machlekes here, Rishonim. There's a big machlekes Rishonim here, whether ein chayv el betar also applies to the issa of shaving over here. So according to Rambam, also the Reish, also your head, you only chayiv if you use tar. This Ein Chayv El Batar is Lefi the Rambam.
All them
Also your head. You only chayv if you use a tar. But according to the Rosh, you chayv on the head even with scissors. Other Rishonim is big machlekes if kein tar is also on your head.
The wash is white, no?
If kein tar.
Because it's the wash.
We pass like the Rosh that it's fine.
You see.
That it's also even kein tar. Interestingly, the question is about using. There's a very strange lesson of the Rambam when it comes to cutting your beard with scissors. The Rambam says potter. It doesn't say mutter. And some want to be medaik, some are chayim, even though the Pashto says it's not potter. Beis Yaakov says he says potter because that's the lesson of the Mishnah.
Yeah.
Some want to be medaik. That means potter avaloser.
Yeah, but they have it like.
In other words, also just right potter. You don't get Makos, but l'chayra there's no sheet like that in any of the Rishonim. And most Achronim say that to be medaik in the Rambam connected all the Rishonim.
Yeah, like
And the Beis Yaakov says he only says potter because that's the lashon of the Mishnah.
Yeah, I also think so.
That he's talking about you don't have to be loika.
No, maybe they want to say mutter.
So you do. It's a big machlekes as the Mekubalim say.
Not to touch there.
According to the Zay, you shouldn't touch your beard b'chlal.
Yes,
The Arizal said you shouldn't. You're not allowed to touch the beard. You shouldn't be tailish asar.
Yeah.
As you do, the Chasam Sofer brings b'shem the Mekubalim talkim maram mipanu beikar. That they used to shave all the Italian Mekubalim, which is basically all the Mekubalim from in Europe came through Italy. That's what the Shirish was, and they all shaved apparently. They all shaved, and I think I saw in the Ramchali writes because you shouldn't be tailish asar. If you have a long hair and you pull it out, that's machravei lomas. I don't know what that does. Only asking with the stars, but I think he says something along those lines. If you shave it, it's fine. There's no problem. And they all used to shave in those days. But either way, nowadays the Mekubalim certainly don't shave. V'chein noigin Mekubalim.
So Chabad, Minak Chabad is not to
They don't touch the beard v'chal, right?
Yeah,
They leave it out. Lashon Hazaya. Exactly.
Each one what is the Mekubalim say that the zakan is like the tzina of the parnasa of the shefa. One of the things was mean the zakan. Zakan is like Hashem giving you like the erev badiyah. Yeah, zakan is like a Jewish siman. And one of the things, because of that, it's like the chef Parnasa.
That's why people are very makos on it. Anything to do with Parnasa, people are very makos on it.
Yeah, it's like say the one they say if you say lot tigzol is good for Parnasa, people are going to stop to steal, but it's not as good, so they're stealing.
Okay, says the Gemara.
Tanu
Rabbanan la yikruchu. It says in the pasuk la yikruchu. Right, don't pull out the hairs. I might think if you pulled out 4 or 5 times, you chayv once. It says karcha, l'chayv, kol karcha, v'karcha. You chayv for each time. B'roisham, it says b'roisham, matam leima. Fishin emar, it says lois is going to do. V'lois simu karcha b'nei nechel meis. If someone dies, don't mourn on it and pull out between your eyes hair. So, you might think you're only chayv if you pull out between your eyes. How do you know you're over karcha? You pull out any hairs on your head. The rabbi is kolarosh. You chayv if you pull out hairs anywhere on your head. We only would see the kain is also do it. Shuriba be'erakos mitzvahs. Yes, the kain has a bunch of mitzvahs. He's holy. Yisrael minayin. How do you know that anyone in Klal Yisrael can't pull out hairs? Nemakan karcha, v'nemalahalon karcha, malahalon chayv kol karcha v'karcha v'chayv al roish k'bein enayim. Just like by kain, you chayv on your whole head and you chayv on each hair, even 5 times. Afkan chayv kol karcha v'karcha v'chayv al roish k'bein enayim. Also, Yisrael chayv the whole head, is chayv bein enayim. Malahalon ala meis, afkan ala meis. Just like a kain's chayv on a mace, also Yisrael is chayv if he mourns on a mace. An interesting shaila that they say is that a kain isn't allowed to use a certain type of brush because he's going to pull out hairs on their head.
Wow.
And also on Shabbos, you're not supposed to use a certain brush, you're going to pull out hairs on the head. So I think Rabbi Kiva asked, how can you use a brush on your head? You're going to be pulling out hairs. My nafkamina.
No.
And the Pasha's answer is that only also if you take out all the hairs. If you leave the 2 hairs, or if you leave, the Rambam says you try and leave at least 40 hairs. No one knows where he gets it from. But if you leave 40 hairs,
it's okay.
then you're not over. That says no chashash. You pull out hairs, you use a brush, because only if a guy maybe only has 2 hairs left on his head,
Yeah, so maybe
he shouldn't use a brush. It should be machmer. But for most people, it's no shaykhs bechal. There's nothing wrong with it. Shkoyach, have a wonderful day.
Shkoyach. I didn't